Hello, welcome to Michelle's Sews again. I'm Michelle. Today I'm actually going to do a tutorial for you. Right? It's my first one, so bear with me. Hopefully it's not horrible. Anyway, so I was inspired to do this because, you know, I've mentioned before I knit, and I have some project bags that are just, here, let me show you. I'll get my inspiration. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this is my inspiration. This is just a drawstring bag that was given to me as a gift by our head merchant back when I worked for a bridal retailer. And she brought this back from one of her overseas trips. And first of all, the embroidery on it is gorgeous. She brought this back from Vietnam. And it's a nice size project bag for small projects. And I thought that it would be great to have a collection of these. Also, I thought it would be a great gift idea. So you can use this pattern. There's no pattern. I just whipped it up. It's like easy peasy. But you can use this for project bags. You can use it if you're the type of sewer that likes to batch cut and pack things away as projects so that you can, you know, you've got all your cutting out of the way. You can make these any size that you want. And you can use them for anything you would use a drawstring bag for. So what I've done is I filmed a little tutorial. Basically what I did was I took my inspiration bag, I measured it, and then I figured out how to like fold over and make the channel. It seriously couldn't be easier. So I am going to insert a little video of me walking you through the steps that I took to make my bag. I didn't Google tutorials or anything. I mean, it couldn't be easier. So if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Anyway, so meet me back here and let's talk. Okay, for this project, this is all that you need. You need some fabric, some ribbon or some string or bias tape, something to create the drawstrings. You need a ruler to cut the fabric or to measure the fabric that you're going to cut. You need scissors or a rotary cutter. You need a marking pen and some type of smaller, well, I guess you could use your ruler, but I used my sewing gauge to mark off the section where I'm going to put the channel. All right, so I'm going to start by measuring out my fabric. And you can make these things any size that you want. I have chosen to do, let's see, I'm doing 15 length and 13 width. And I just got that measurement by measuring it against a project bag that I already own, and I like the size of it. So you can, I mean, the thing about this is these would make, you know, they're great project bags. They'd really make great gift bags too. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I've got it on the fold because I'm cutting, I don't wanna have to sew the bottom seam. Can you see that? Yeah. I don't wanna have to sew the bottom seam, so I'm cutting it on the fold. If you have smaller pieces than this is an easy stash buster. You can obviously piece some things together and sew the bottom seam. I'm just taking the easy way out. So I am going to use this as one of my edges, so I'm not going to cut that side. And I'm taking my marker and I'm going to mark off 15. And then from there, I'm taking and marking off 13 over here so that I can come back over here and do my edges. Okay, that's simple enough. And now whenever I have a straight line like this, I use my ruler as a gauge. Do I have this open? I think I need to change my blade. All right. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so now I've got my piece cut. I'm done with that ruler. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this to the serger and I'm just gonna serge the sides. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The edges are all nice and serged up. And so I've got it folded inside out. I want to line everything up. And now I'm measuring for the channel. So I've already made one of these, so I already know that this works for my ribbon size, which is this, which is, how wide is this? 1/2 inch. So what I'm doing is I'm marking where I don't want to sew the side seam. So I am marking at 2 inches and 1.5 from the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the seam here. I'm going to skip this part and I'm going to sew down on both sides. Okay. And I'm just going to put some straight pins in here to remind me to stop. Ow. Man, do you do that? I stick myself every time I work with straight pins. Every single time. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to stitch this up at 3/8 of an inch on both sides, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, so the side seams are sewn and I pressed them open. And you can see here that there is still a little hole so that I have room for the channel for the ribbon. All right, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the edge down about 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm gonna fold it down again. Where's my opening? I'm gonna fold it down again so that the fold is just to the top of the opening. And this will be folded, this will be down 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna press that down, and then I'm gonna top stitch, or I'm gonna stitch, I guess not top stitch because I'm doing it on the inside, but I'm gonna stitch as close to that edge as possible to close that channel. And I'll be back when I'm done. That's all the sewing that you do. I pressed this down after I sewed it down, and you can see it's just sewn down on the inside. And the channel is open right there. So the last thing that you need to do is cut your ribbon. So you need 2 strips of ribbon that are double. Both pieces are going to be double, and you need them long enough so that you can knot them off on the end. So I'd say that's long enough. And now I need another one of those. Okay, and now you just get a safety pin. Sorry, I should have included that in the supplies needed. And you thread it through. So you're going to thread one from one side and go all the way around and finish on the same side you started on. And then you're going to take the other one and start on the other side, thread it through, and end on that side. And then you're going to knot them both off and you're done. So I'm going to let you watch me do this, but I'm going to speed through it. I'm gonna pull that knot pretty tight. All right, c'est la vie. Now we're done. Now I am going to do one more thing to mine. I am personalizing it with somebody's name. I'm not gonna show that here because the person who the gift is for might be watching and I don't want them to see it. So I just cut the name out in a really pretty font using my Cricut and some iron-on vinyl, and it's going to go right in the middle there. And now you can see, voila, you've got a project bag, and the drawstrings work. You can do this with just one, but it won't stay closed. So the two of them help it grab and stay closed. So that's it. That's how easy it is. Okay, so how easy peasy was that? I want to tell you that I did forget to mention that when I'm sewing up the side seams and I leave that little section for the channel for the ribbon, you do need to backstitch before you break for the channel, and then you need to backstitch when you start again. So wherever you make the marks to not stitch, you want to backstitch on the outside of both of those and leave the middle open, if that makes sense. So yeah, after I finished filming, I wanted to see how long it would take me to make one when I didn't have to stop and explain and everything. So my next one, I timed it from the time I cut the fabric to the time I knotted the last knot, and it was about 15 minutes. And I just got faster after that. In fact, I have made a handful of these, and I ended up doing it in like assembly line order. So I cut my fabric for all of them, then I serged the edges for all of them, then I stitched the seams for all of them, then I pressed the channel piece, so the 1/4 inch, and then I folded it over another inch, and I pressed that, and then so I did that for all of them, and then I took them to the sewing machine and I stitched all of them down at the same time, and then I went and I fed through the ribbon all at the same time. So let me show you what I've got here. So this is one that I made for myself. I posted this one on Instagram, and this one I have personalized with my name using my Cricut machine and some holographic iron-on. So yeah, that's the bag. Super easy. And then I've made 4 more that I've also personalized, but I'm not showing you the names because they might be watching. All right, so here's one. Here's 2. Here's 3. And here's 4. And all of these, plus the filming of the tutorial, took me, I'd say about maybe 2 hours once I fiddled with dropping scissors and all the things that happen in the sewing room. So yeah, I think that's super easy. I think these would be really cute as gift bags at Christmas. You put somebody's name on there, and whatever gift you're giving them, put them in one of these. And instead of buying one of those paper gift bags at the drugstore or the grocery store, this would be a great way to personalize a gift that you're giving somebody. So tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think this looks easy? Are you going to give it a try? What other uses would you have for a drawstring bag? I'd love to know. So let me know what your thoughts are, and I appreciate you watching. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a beautiful weather day and that you're able to get some sewing in. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.